off to the We Are One campaign here at Muscatine High School. We are one town, one community, one high school, and one stadium. I'm from Dubuque, Iowa, and it was a great community, and it still is. One community, 3 high schools. Friday nights were different. We would go as a school, we would go home, and your neighbors may be at a different high school. Muscatine's always been a unique opportunity because Muscatine has just one school all the way through. You've got, St. Mary Matthias through 8th grade, but the high school is our community, and it is our school district. People on the outside, when they look at Muscatine, Iowa, they see a thriving business community. They come here for various reasons. They may like housing, they may like our job opportunities, they may like retail, but everybody likes school. They like our school system, and the school system has done great things in the past few years to make several improvements. Everybody is concerned about the school district and what the future lies in the school system. It's so important because industry in Muscatine, the H&Is of the world, the GPCs and several others, when they look for people to work for them, Iowa City, Davenport, even Cedar Rapids, that may commute to work here, one of the first things they look at is the school system and the facilities that we offer. This place, look at this building. I mean, this is brand new. With 2 years, Chuck Van Heck, of course, the man that his name is on the front of it, a big deal. And this is the envy of Eastern Iowa right now. There's a lot of places that wish they had this facility. We've done improvements at Tom Bruner Field, Diamond 4 down at the softball field, down at the softball complex. The new STEM project here at Muscatine High School will be completed this spring. We also have got band instruments that were purchased within the last couple of years, spent upwards of $1 million. There's a lot of good things happening at Muscatine High School. The stadium needs to be renovated. Everybody in the MAC, the old MAC in football, but the MAC conference that we're still affiliated with, has had stadium improvements since 2010, every one. Muscatine, 1985, okay? Great year though, because I'm a Chicago Bear fan, that was a special year. And the Hawks were #1 that year too. We need improvements, and we need your help. We're one community, and when we stick together, things can get done, and things will get done. The school system has set aside several $1 million for this project, and there's great improvements on the way, but we don't have enough. And that's why we need you guys to spread the word and really get behind this campaign to raise money. We need a new field turf, scoreboard, and other amenities that are really going to make this attractive. I can tell you, as being the play-by-play voice of the Muskies the last 9 years, which has been a thrill and a part-time job for me, it's been a thrill. But some of these stadiums we go to are show places, and when you go there and you leave there, you talk about it. Any of you that made the trip to Johnston this year, or Linn-Mar, a couple years ago, Dubuque, all these places that have redone their stadiums, it really reflects on the community. It really reflects on the school district itself. And this isn't just a football-only thing. The band is really excited about getting behind this, and it's just good for all of our students that we can really push forward and make this right. The other thing about Friday nights, it's just not about a football game. If you look at Muscatine, it's a community event. You're there with your neighbors, you're there with your family. You go there to watch the POM, the cheer squad. There's always a recognition night of some sort on a Friday night, but Muscatine being one town, one school district, and one stadium, that stadium is a gathering place, and it brings people together. Enough about what I want to say. These guys are going to present what it's all about, and I want to welcome Tom Olsis, first-year athletic director, 14 years in Waterloo. Tom's going to tell you a little bit about it.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out this morning. It's my pleasure to be able to share information with you. This is take 2 for trying to do this press conference, so thank you, everyone, for joining us this morning as we are challenged by the weather. What I want to do a little bit is share some information on what's going on and what we want to do, what our goal is, what our vision is, what we are working hard to accomplish. So part of what our presentation is today is to share information about the great things that are going on here at Muscatine High School and Muscatine Community School District. It's a very exciting time, and then also to share information about what we also want to do and what the We Are One campaign is. So our campaign mission statement is to provide our students and faculty of Muscatine High School, along with the Muscatine community, facilities that enhance the educational process and serve as a center of community pride while developing relationships with a wide variety of groups and individuals. Our campaign goals are to create facility improvements that create academic and athletic enhancements, build relationships by bringing people together, strengthen our community pride, and improve our student and athlete and spectator experience. Brian touched a little bit on these areas, and this is what is behind our campaign: enhancing our academic opportunities for our students, bringing people together, being a source of community pride for our community. The why for our campaign: we've got a lot of great things going on that are enhancing both our academic and extracurricular experiences for our students, but our stadium has changed very little since 1985 when it was built. Our school district has committed many things. There's a strong commitment to funding several parts of our stadium improvements, but we're also going to be partnering private fundraising dollars. So that's part of what we want to explain today as well. Brian touched a little bit on some of the great things that have happened in the last year and a half, from the Van Heck Center, an awesome improvement for our school district and our community, to our musical instruments for our fine arts programs. This summer, we'll be doing a renovation to our music areas, our orchestra, band, and choral classrooms. Our STEM building is under construction out front. There's been improvements to Tom Bruner Field, where our baseball team plays. This past fall, the school district put a new infield on Diamond Number 4 for our softball field. So there's a lot of great things. We just resurfaced our tennis courts right next to this building as well. What's our why? Why stadium improvements? Muscatine Community Stadium opened in 1985. Basically, every place that we go has seen tremendous improvements in really probably less than the last 10 years to their facilities. From Brady Street in Davenport, where our football team played 3 times last year. This year we hosted all the Davenport schools, to North Scott, who's in our conference, Burlington, Bettendorf, Clinton, Pleasant Valley, all with great things going on and great things that have happened. We may or may not look at ourselves the same way and see ourselves like Bettendorf or Iowa City West in our facilities or our ability to work together and make things happen. But we can make great things happen. The picture on the left hand is from Clinton. Ottumwa is on the right-hand side. Burlington, communities that are also very similar to ourselves, with one high school in the community who've done great things and improved their stadiums. In 1985, Muscatine Community Stadium was dedicated. That was a picture from the dedication ceremony, the program. Our stadium still looks very similar. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's what we want to build on, what we want to improve. Our stadium is, and the reason for, we're one community with one school, but there's one place that our students come together for all levels of football. Youth Sports Foundation, youth football games are played at the stadium. Our 7th and 8th grade games are now all played at our stadium. 9th grade, sophomore, and varsity football games are played at our stadium. The Pride of the Muskies Marching Band currently hosts 1 to 2 marching band contests on it every year. In 2018, our marching band contest was canceled due to the conditions of the field. The stadium also hosts 5 or 6 track meets, between high school track meets, junior high track meets, 5th grade track meets, 6th grade track meet, all levels. I was just doing the math, doing some rough approximate, trying to come up with some approximate numbers. How many people, how many students compete or perform on our stadium every year? How many spectators come through the doors to watch our students and our visiting team students every year. There's at least 5,000 kids every year that are part of competing on our stadium. We probably easily see over 15,000 people every year. So improving our stadium is about a lot more than just 4 or 5 Friday nights when there are varsity football games at the field. What are our academic enhancements that take place because of our improved stadiums? Enhanced fine arts abilities for our programs inside the high school and outside the high school on our campus. Enhanced student and wellness and athletic development, physical education improvements, new learning spaces which give greater flexibility for continued growth for STEM experiences. Not only in our STEM building, our new STEM edition, will there be opportunities for continued growth in education, but outside is a rich classroom as well. So stadium, scoreboard, video technology, it's a rich learning environment for our students, and we want to give our students, we want to create that opportunity for our students as well. How does improving our facilities improve relationships and building relationships? Through interactions within our community, Muscatine High School establishes programs that benefit our students as well as members of our community in many ways. We want to energize businesses and individuals in support of Muscatine, in addition to planning for and energizing our future students and our future community members. We want to energize our alumni base as well. And we have committee members for our campaign that are working on ideas for how to really involve and energize that alumni base as well. What is our community impact? Brian touched on this a little bit as well. Our community and our school district, we work together. We must work together to ensure the success of both parties. Muscatine is enhanced as an attraction as we improve our facilities, and they're a great recruiting tool as people are considering working for or accepting a job offer for a company that may be located here in Muscatine. When you enter our campus, what do you see? What kind of feelings do you have when you come on campus? That's the impact of our school, that our schools can have. In addition to what goes on inside the building, we also see what goes on outside the building. Planned improvements. Okay, let's talk a little bit about where we're going, things that are in the works. Construction, groundwork started this last week. I think groundwork started due to the fact that we'd had some really good weather in January, and now this press conference is not the reason for the snow. It's actually because of the work that's started. So talk to Mr. Jeff Miller if you need to give some feedback on the weather with that. So our outside, we've started the process of building a required storm shelter that is part of the STEM addition. That's going to be completed by this coming summer. That storm shelter building will be multi-purpose. It will meet the needs for improved restrooms, concessions, and a team room while protecting fans and students in a weather emergency. We'll have a new entrance to our stadium, and there will be a plaza and concourse in front of the shelter. This improvement will really change the look and feel for what it will be like for our spectators, for our fans, for our students as they come into our games. So we really want to build on this with some additional much needed improvements and changes. At the present time, planned for 2021 in the summer, the stadium track will be resurfaced, our bleachers will be improved, the new press box will be designed and put in, replacing fencing and stadium light replacement are all items that are connected to our stadium that's on the plans for the future. The biggest dollar item that we are raising money for from this campaign, from private fundraising, is for artificial turf on the stadium. It's a price tag right now of approximately $1.2 million. Why is this a need? Why is this improvement desired? I mentioned it's the only place in town that football games are held. That creates a great amount of wear and tear on the playing surface. Our marching band program, our great marching band program, 1 to 2 marching band contests. So when the weather is good, competition surface becomes very worn and compacted. When the weather's bad, if we have a bad fall weather, rain can cause difficult conditions for the band and for the football team. So we spend our fall with our fingers crossed, hoping that we'll be able to get through and have a good surface for our students that they deserve in order to perform. Artificial turf also gives our bands and teams the ability to practice on the field. And we greatly reduce or eliminate the cost of painting the field and mowing the field regularly, which we do now. It's a conceptual of what we would like to do, what we hope to be able to do. All of these materials and all this information will also be up on the website that we put together for our campaign as well. How will dollars raised above the price of the turf be used? We'd like to install a new scoreboard with video technology. Approximately $225,000 is what the price tag is for that. Additional improved storage for outdoor stadium items, improved visitor bleacher and visitor experience, donor recognition, dollars that can be used for future maintenance and replacement costs. And gifts to this fund are for facilities projects. They're designated for that. $2.5 million is our goal for our campaign. That goal is based on our desire to take care of the present and to plan for the future. We're working with the Community Foundation of Greater Muscatine in order for donations to be accepted. Naming opportunities are available for the many different parts. We'll talk about that. There's lots of ways that people can get involved and make a difference with our campaign, because we are going to need a lot of people. We want to engage a lot of people with this project. So it's an exciting project, an exciting time. We want to gather as one in order to support our campaign, and we really feel like we have a lot of momentum that we want to share with this. So right now we're sharing information, we're building momentum and excitement, and then we'll also begin the fundraising process, so you'll continue to hear about what's going on and how you can make a difference as well. So thank you very much for being here today, and I'll hand the microphone back to Brian.
Thanks, Tom. I think you did say new press box, right? Okay, all right. There is a new press box, which is exciting for the coaches, of course, and myself. Our next speaker will be Muscatine High School Principal Terry Hoganson.
Welcome. I am more than excited about the kickoff, the We Are One campaign kickoff. I always want Muscatine to be viewed in the best light possible, and this will go a long ways towards establishing Muscatine as a school and as a community that's moving forward. Our stadium is a billboard to our own community and to spectators. And when they come in, it's the one place where we have other things that we do that are amazing in this district, but it's one place that actually they get to touch, they get to see, they get to be a part of, they get to be a participant in the activities of being involved in our stadium. And so we have a tremendous connection between our athletics and the things that we have our students do, and the participation that are involved with our athletes as well as our students. The student stadium is a big component of extensive projects that we're working on. We're working on the science wing, the Van Heck Center, and the new Fine Arts Center. All of those show kind of a commitment to a triad of efforts for us to do athletics, academics, and fine arts. We are very excited about the opportunity of this moving forward, the campaign being successful, because again, as I said at the beginning, I want to make sure that we showcase Muscatine in the best absolute light possible to everyone that touches our community, comes here, visits, and so on. So I'm hoping that everyone gets behind this, that they're supportive of this, and that it's another way for us to showcase the best of who we are in Muscatine. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Our next speaker will be head football coach Jake Mueller, and I can tell you Jake's really excited about this project.
Thanks, Brian. Yes, I am very excited about this project, and And this is I just finished up my 10th year as a head football coach here. I've been part of the program for 15 years, 7 of which I was also the head track coach. So over the years, I've had a chance to be in a lot of different stadiums and venues across the state. And probably the number one thing I think that you get out of a renovated stadium, a new facility, is just overall pride in the school, in the community. And that's something that I really, really want for our kids in this community, to have something that they are proud of, something they can take pride in. And I think we have a perfect example of what happens when you have upgraded facilities. With this building and the new weight room, we've seen recently where more and more kids are interested in working out in training because of a new facility. And I'd love to see that also happen with the new stadium, with several activities, not just football, with band, with cheerleading, with POM. When you go to a game on a Friday night, it is a school-wide event. It is a community event. Just about every middle school kid, elementary kid wants to go to a Friday night football game, whether or not they enjoy football or not. They want to come to be a part of the community. And we want them to come, and we want them to take pride in what we have. And I hope that we can accomplish something that everybody in our community will be proud of. I remember in 2014, I was a track coach, and we made the trip to Clinton. And I remember being at the meet, and we walked in, and they had just done a stadium renovation in Clinton, Iowa. And one of my track athletes said to me, "Coach, are we going to ever do anything like this?" I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "This is really, really cool. They've got new bleachers. They've got a new concession stand. They got turf." I'm like, my answer at that time was, I hope so. And I still hope so. I still hope that we can have something to where kids can be proud of when they go into the stadium. Just going to the other venues that we play at, you can tell that people there take pride in what they have. And like I mentioned before, I want our kids to take pride in what they have. And it's much bigger, like I mentioned, than just a football stadium. It is a community stadium. My vision, my hope is that when the weather's nice in the spring and the summer, we can have elementaries come to the stadium with field turf, with a video board up. They can do movie nights. There's just endless things you can do when you have the venue to do it. And it really excites me to know that we are finally moving in a direction to maybe get this thing going. And, we'll need the support of a lot of people, but, I appreciate the school district and our administration for taking the steps to get this thing going. And I think it's very important that we do it. And Tom brought up a few examples of similar communities to us. And, I'm a competitive person. And so when I see schools and towns similar to us that are taking those steps and providing their communities and kids with first-class facilities, selfishly, I want that for our kids too. And so I hope we can accomplish that. And it's exciting to know that we are moving that direction. And, I appreciate all the support we've received already. And hopefully this can draw some interest in alumni who may not even live in Muscatine to want to come back to a place that they can take pride in. And, hopefully we can work towards doing that. And I appreciate everybody coming and the support we've gotten. So thank you.
Thank you, Coach Mueller. Our next speaker will be Director of Bands, Mr. Jeff Hyde.
Good morning. Thank you for coming. I get to address the elephant that's not in the room, the marching band that isn't here because of weather. And believe it or not, that is a big impact on the marching program. We have 160 students in the high school band now. We have a growing marching band. We offer a competitive marching experience for our students, and we also have a competition that we hold here in our stadium. We have, I would argue, first-rate facilities all around, with the exception of the stadium. And even the stadium, even though it is older and still natural turf, it has a draw for a lot of schools that come to our competition because they want to be here at Muscatine for this stadium. They feel that it's one of the prettiest stadiums, even though it's one of the older stadiums. They come here because they like the facilities that we have as a whole, with the grounds out front, with the way the buildings look, even with the construction at times. They still enjoy coming here because they feel that this is a great experience. But when we lose that experience because of rain that causes our field to be so dirty and muddy that we can't actually walk on it, then we can't have the event, which really has an impact on not just our students, but 15 to 20 other high school bands from 15 or 20 other communities. So the one thing I can say, if we can find a way to raise the money to do all of this project that we're trying to do, this would be a huge impact on not just our community, but the other communities that come to our stadium and use it.
Thank you, Jeff. Our next speaker is Muscatine High School student athlete, Xander Stolfus. Great young man, by the way.
Good morning, everybody. The renovations for the stadium would be a huge impact in our community. One of the examples I've witnessed is when we went to Johnson this year for football. Entering that stadium, it just had a different feeling to the game, and even seeing the people that came out to support their community. I feel like having this renovation, we could have that same impact, just being one whole town and one whole community together. And to come back and see this, because realistically, I may not play on the new renovations, but to come back and witness the changes that we can possibly make would be great for me to see and come back and support, to realize that I could have made a difference, to see for classes below me to have such a great facility for the new turf. Thank you.
Thank you, Xander. I'd like to recognize anybody that's here that's part of the stadium committee. Could you just stand so people know who you are? So folks, those of you that aren't, if you have questions later and you want to talk to somebody when we're finished up here, reach out to any of these people. They'd be more than happy to answer any questions you may have as we move forward in the fundraising process. I want to bring back Tom Olsos to talk about opportunities to give and get involved.
Just want to touch briefly before we leave today. We are going to be speaking to a lot of people, a lot of groups. We'll be sharing information with the Muscatine Chamber of Commerce today, so we're hoping for a great turnout for their lunch meeting. We'll also be working on grant applications and a lot of activities. But don't be surprised to eventually be asked to support this campaign, because it's going to take a lot of people and a lot of support. I'm also excited to announce two things as part of that as well. We want to thank the class of 1964. When they got together over the summer, they gave a donation to this campaign, which wasn't even off the ground yet. So they believed in the future. They graduated from Muscatine High School a long time ago, even before this current version of Muscatine High School, but they wanted to make a donation. So they are officially our first donation of the campaign. Second thing I'm excited to announce is we also have an anonymous $50,000 matching challenge gift that's been pledged. So with our first $50,000 that's donated, that will be doubled thanks to the generosity of our anonymous donor. So it's a great time to be getting involved. So we want to encourage everybody to pay attention to the information that's coming out, and people from our committee will be visiting with members of our community to ask for help as well. So thank you, everyone.
Just want to thank everybody who braved the weather. This was our second attempt, and we got it pulled off this morning. So thank you for coming. Okay, we have 2 door prizes to give away here, so bear with us. We'll find out who the lucky winners are. Your odds are really good right now.
Last chance. Anybody who
Yeah.
So, in our two door prizes, first person that I call, you'll have your choice. You may have seen the Muscatine flag that's out front. If you're first, you can either choose that or one of our football helmets. The football helmet is a rejected football helmet, so if you would win that, do not play football in it because it has expired. It's like, bam. First winner, 133129. Mr. Mike McGrory.
Mike McGrory.
Very good. He needs that helmet.
Yeah, that helmet. I expect to see you wearing that at football games.
Okay, Mr. McGrory chooses the flag. So for the football helmet, our winner is 133131. Winner!
That row was the lucky row. Fantastic. Again, thank everybody for showing up. The weather limited the crowd a little bit. Tell everybody you can what's going on here. The stadium committee is there for everybody to talk to about this. This is an exciting project. Remember, we are one, and one, we can accomplish a lot. They need $2.5 million. We can raise that. This community can do that, and we can be the showplace of Eastern Iowa, not only for facilities like this, but for our football band facility that we're going to have out here. It's going to be exciting, and it's going to be something that the community can talk about for many years to come. So it will get done. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it.